box of goodies. Got an air filter. Got some O-rings. Couldn't get them direct where I got this from, so I had to buy also some copper drain plugs. My small filter and my larger filter. So let's see if we can get this puppy done. Okay, well, to get to one of the filters, wheel has to come off, and this inner lining has to come off. I'm not going to go into that because it's not brain surgery, except there are up under here two nuts or whatever screws that are right up. I can feel one with my finger like that across the top. So just find them and take them off, and that comes off. And then this side panel for me has to come off because some cars there's a little I think a spot here that you can get to the drain plug through, maybe. I don't know, not on my car. Otherwise, this plastic stick's got to come off, and it's got about 5 or 6 of, there's a couple of screws here, and then there's about 5 or 6 little tiny wing nut, plastic nut things along that you got to undo, and then one at the very end. Once this thing peels off, access to the back and you're in. That is my high-tech version of how to get to the first filter. Okay, I've taken this little panel off the front of the car there. That was sitting there, little screw hole, because I think there's probably something to undo. There it is, right there, right on the little end. Oh, for God's sake! I think it really slow so I don't bend stuff here, but that's sort of loose there now. So, oh, there we go. Okay, I'm going to use 2 hands here so I don't bend stuff and break stuff off, but that's just popping out. Looks like those little clips here. I'll get an angle of that. So it obviously pulls down a bit like that, but yeah, let's see what comes out the other end. I'll slowly pull that off. A couple of other little screws under here, so hopefully my jack doesn't get in the way to get off there. Okay, so I've now got good access to that plug. I'm going to try to get it onto my hoist and have it hanging over the edge to drain it, as opposed to doing it like this, because it'd be a pain in the ass doing the other filter that's in there without the whole thing, at least up on jack stand. And that's my little sender unit from an oil gauge. Okay, pretty much got the engine up to temp. I've got to be half off my hoist because this nut sits over my hoist, so I can't do it. Going to drain that oil and go from there. 15mm spanner, I think, does it? 15mm socket, so I'm going to do that and drain it, and then we'll move on to the filter. Okay, it's getting the last drips of it now out. Alright, so I've got this remover to get one of the caps off because I can't get a grip on it. Okay, so I've got my connector on the thing. I'm just going to loosen this one if I can. See if I can loosen this. Okay, it's turning pretty easy once I got it. Okay, so it's loosening. So my plan loose enough. Not much oil at all coming out of it, which is good. Not sure where my camera's gone, but let's put a little dollop of oil. Around the seal. They say do that for some reason. I could probably put a little dollop. Why do I do things differently? I don't know. Up the guts. Why not? And let's not cross thread and screw that. say do it hand tight, so let's do it hand tight. Okay, so we're up on the hoist now, and it's got to take off the under panel to drain this last one out. And I've had some pizza, so it's cooled down a little bit, but it'll still be pretty warm. So, all right, just undoing these screws, screw in there, screw way up there, and on the other side, and just take this panel off. Got a few little drips just there, and just here, but nothing that I am going to cry about. This is the bolt I'm looking for. I've got it there it is there. So I'm going to take off that that thing there. Just otherwise it's going to go over everything. So okay, so that bit is out. I think it's the access. All right, got my 15er out. Oh. That puppy's an eye, better get an extension, hang on. Alright, and now I'm going to try with one of these bangos. Where's the 15er? That's 15 apparently. Oh, like a glove. Okay, let's not root this. Okay, that's cracked open, beautiful. Bucket deployed. Fingers slowly turning. Don't know how hot this oil is. It's been a while since I've had a pizza. One with a lot with anchovies. So I'm just going to be cautious of burning the crow. Just push it from the top maybe. Feels pretty hot. Oh, missed the bucket totally. Alright, clean up time. This is the one from the main tank. Pulled this out. This is the main one. And there wasn't any metal on it, which was good. If there was, it was like I couldn't see any. So that's a good result. Got my new crush washer, so I'll put one of them on. I'll get the old one out of the bucket and just make sure they sort of match. Just because these aren't OEM, so just make sure. So yeah. Just taking off the second body panel on my car, second bottom one here, just to give me room to the next filter. That has just come off on the body panel that came down. I've had this body panel off before, I think. So I don't know where that's come from. Somewhere up there. Literally couldn't find this filter for about 5 minutes. There it is up there. Got to get to it under this red thing. I'm looking towards the back of the car here now. Got my safety equipment down there, making sure if it crushes, at least I'll be able to breathe for a bit. So I've got to take off this banger to get up there. And also you meant to apparently have to remove one of these oil pipes. I have heard you can do it without that, but let's just see how we go. That if you just follow this oil pipe, it's above this oil pipe here. Help me locate it. Now, you can take this off, push it out and get access to this filter better. Mine seems a bit, I don't know, I don't even know if it's corroded. Not corroded, but it looks like someone's even put like a sealant or something in there on that. So I tried wedging it out. There's one bolt here to undo. And then on nice cars it just pulls out. This one didn't come, so I didn't want to force it and break it, so I'm going to try to go straight for the filter up here and see if I can get a thing to remove it and try to get it past this pipe, past the pipe without taking it off. You know, to get it past the oil thing, I've grinded off just a section of my filter remover, just to give it a little bit of an angle there, and that sneaks past the oil pipe. Now I don't have to remove the oil pipe, so this shall now be branded Super Tool. Norris, thanks. Okay, so I've got the Super Tool in there. As you can see, the grind a bit off, got it over the pipe, and then I'm going to lay some plastic over this stuff. I never heard of pissing down a rope. Hopefully the oil goes on, it runs down the plastic and into my tray with a bit of mess. We'll see how we go. I'll crack it first, then lay the plastic. So it is out. Basically the filter dropped it didn't drop, I loosened it a bit, let it dribble a bit, loosened it a bit more, dribbled a bit, then it just dropped into that cavity just here, and then just rolled out really. I let it drain a bit first. It's on a scale of 1 to messy, 1 to 10, that's about a 5 on the messy scale if you do it slow. Bit of wiping up here, but really not that much, not that bad. Once that tool, now I've got that tool for next time, that's not such a bad job. Okay, got the new banger, just get a little bit of oil, really just to put around the seal, which everyone does for whatever reason. But I'll just drop a little bit in there. It's not going to hurt, it's going straight up, so I'll put my finger in that, just pour a bit on there. Around the rim here. I don't want to get oil on the casing because I want to tighten this thing without it slipping, because once oil gets on that metal, it is slippery. So I'm not going to put much more than that in. I'll just do that and chuck it back in. Right, so that is up and in there. I did use Super Tool to tighten it just a little bit, only like with a hand sort of thing, because it was just a bit oily and I couldn't get a grab, so I don't think I've over tightened it. Alright, it's giving it a bit of a clean under here. It's a lot of cruddy stuff. I've seen people with really shiny engines. I'm going to do it bit by bit every time I get under here, but just grab a bit of the old, probably oil. Looks a bit shinier. Get that a bit of a shine up. You can't really tell. That looks a little bit nicer. Now it's like scratching off stuff like this. Just trying to get a bit of a clean. I thought I'd clean this one over here and thought, oh, that bumps a bit. Now I notice that's missing. But across to here, there's a bolt in this one. And guess what fits in that? The little banger that I found falling out of my thing. So I think if I screw that in here, that might be one less. I can hear that over a bump. Bloody annoying. So I don't know if you can tell the difference, but a bit of WD-40 and a scrub. I think every time I come under here, I'll give it a bit of a touch up, but that's one side. That's the other. And that, so it looks heaps better. I know the angle's not great, I'm upside down. But a bit shinier, so bit by bit, did the pipes. Did those pipes. Give it a bit of a clean. No one's ever loved these bloody things. Anyway, gonna give this a bit of a, I might do a bit of a spot and so you can tell the difference. There you go, I did a spot. Not hard at all, WD-40, comes straight off. Anyway, that's it. Okay, we'll start putting the oil in. I've taken my oil lid off. I've noticed under here there's a slight crack in it. Just there, a little hole, so I'm not going to make that point upwards, but just note to anyone else, have a check for cracks in your little pipe there. And let's get some oil in there. Okay, it starts backing up at about 6-7 litres, and I had a little bit of an overspill. Not much, I caught it pretty quickly. So there's a little bit in there I've got to clean up, but it's really not much at all, which I'm really happy with. So that's pretty cool. So at the moment I've put in, where's my thing over here? Can you see that? Just under 8 litres. It says 9 litres for an oil change approximately, and the whole thing takes 11.5 litres all up. Now I don't know whether my thermostat was open when I drained the oil. I don't know if I'm looking to put in 11 litres or not, but at 8 without the thermostat open, that's pretty much what you put in it, give or take. So I'm going to heat her up, get her going, and then do some checks. And the quality of the oil I put in compared to what I took out is should be sweet as. So let's see how we go. I can actually see oil still in the filler tube. I don't know if that's right or not. Only because I have only put in 8 litres and I've drained the thing, so I don't think I've overfilled it. I'll give it a crank without anything kicking over, and I'll have another look in there. Pulling the fuel pump relay, whatever it is here, just to give it a couple of turns, just to get the oil around the engine. Not sure if you're meant to do that or not. I've seen videos, most people do it, but I've only put in 8 litres, so I can't have overfilled it, and I've drained it, so yeah, let's see. Okay, I've brought the car back to level, just with the hoist, and that oil has drained down. So there you go. If your car is tilted on a 15-degree angle or so, towards the back when you're putting it in, some will build up in the neck of it. So just maybe tilt your car flat before you, if it's not flat, which makes me want to put another little bit in there, but let's see, got a little hint there. Okay, tad nervous, relay's out, fuel's in, 8 litres of oils are in, relay's off, in neutral, just going to give it a couple of cranks, see what happens. Nothing, because my immobiliser's off on now. Okay. Put the relay in. Fire it up. Alright, I do have 8 litres of oil in this thing, so come on baby, don't blow up on me. Okay, oil pressure's good. At the minute she's idling fine. Rev's okay. Take for a little quick run around the block.